Welcome to Seattle College's international programs and our show Conversations With, where we talk to people that help you understand how you too can be an international student in the United States and why Seattle Colleges should be your first choice. We'll talk to students and staff and agents and government folks, all kinds of people about what you can expect when you're getting ready to apply or travel here, what you'll experience while you're with us, and how it can all lead to an amazing life. Don't forget to check out the Seattle College's International Programs website at intl.seattlecolleges.edu, where you can find a treasure trove of information about the school, the programs here, and best of all, fill out and submit your application. Again, that's intl.seattlecolleges.edu. Hey everybody, it's Evan Franulovich here in Seattle, Washington. Welcome back to Conversations With. We are here to welcome... Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Sharan. I'm from India and right now I'm here to study in Seattle.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
Near about 1.5 years.
Oh, you've been here quite a while then.
Yeah.
Wow. And you came directly from India, or were you here already?
No, I came to Texas, in Texas Wesleyan University, and I did 1 semester over there, and then I transferred from there to here.
That's right. I remember seeing that in your file. So you went to Texas. Why did you go to Texas?
Because I got visa over there.
Yeah, you got a visa there. But that's a 4-year university, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I transferred from there to here because I didn't like the area. It was more like desert area, and I didn't like it.
I used to live in Texas, so I know what you're talking about. There are things I like about Texas, but I wouldn't want to live there for a long time. Why? So which part of Texas were you in?
I was in Fort Worth.
Oh, that was in Fort Worth.
Yeah,
I understand. I think Seattle's a much better city, but it's a little cooler than Texas, and you're probably used to the heat, yeah?
Yeah, I was used to the heat because in India it's more hot temperature. Yeah. But I was not that much used to the heat.
Right.
The Texas is too much for me. So I moved here.
So why, how did you hear about Seattle Colleges? If you were in Texas, how did you hear about us?
I heard about this college from one of my friends. She was studying here.
Oh, okay.
And now I think she completed her study. Yeah.
So she graduated.
From her and I applied by myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you applied. Was it a fairly easy process to apply and transfer?
I think it's too easy for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know about others. It was easy for me, and I applied for 2 or 3 students more.
Oh.
I helped them to apply, how to apply, and all.
They came from Texas as well?
2 came from Texas, and right now I'm working on one of my students, and she's coming from Montana University.
Oh, really?
She'll be here in winter.
Yay! We should give you a commission on these guys. Nice job. Well, that's really great. I'm glad you came to Seattle Colleges. That's a really great transfer. So you've been here a year and a half. How much more do you have before you graduate then? It must be close.
I think I'm just left with 2 semesters.
Okay.
And then I'm going to transfer to Seattle University, or I have 3 or 4 Christian, I have 3 or 4 universities from which I'm thinking about. Maybe my first preference is University of Washington.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Which campus? There are 3 UW campuses.
I'm thinking about to go to Tequila.
Oh, okay. Great. Cool. So, Seattle University is just down the street, University of Washington, and you said that 3 or 4. Is there any others that you're thinking about?
Yeah, Seattle State University, and there's one more. I forgot the name.
Okay, that's cool. Seattle State. There is no Seattle State. You mean like Washington State? or maybe Seattle Pacific?
There's one more,
okay.
Seattle State University.
Okay, but you want to stay in Seattle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So you must like it.
Yeah, I like it so much.
What do you like about it?
I like the weather.
You do?
First, yeah. And I also like people who are here. So.
You mean the domestic audience? Just the people walking around town?
Yeah, people who are here, they love to meet with other people, which is the most important thing for me because I'm new here and I'm making new friends here.
Right.
So it's very good experience with them.
Right. What kinds of things do you do to make friends? Where do you find them? Are you meeting people in class, or are you involved out in the community at all?
No, I'm not involved in other communities, but I think most of my friends are from my classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Domestic or international?
There are some domestic and some are international too.
All right. So I'm always curious about your relationships with the domestic students. Like, are they like super interested in who you are? Are they a little shy? I'm never sure how domestic students see our international students.
I think they are a little bit shy.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I'm also not an extrovert person.
Yeah.
I'm so introvert. I can't talk with someone at first. And it takes me time to do conversation with others and be like so open with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time for me.
Yeah, well, that's totally fine. Yeah, take your time. We have a lot of events that we set up that involve international students that gives them the opportunity to interact with other students so that they can make friends. Have you been to any of our events, like the Halloween party or...
No, I didn't attend any kind of that event. Maybe I'll attend it in the future.
Yeah, you should. I know the winter has some really great events. Last winter, we took a group in a bus up to play in the snow.
Oh.
Have you been up to the snow yet?
Yeah, one time I went to snow camping.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
What, did you go tubing? Did you go skiing, snowboarding?
Yeah, I visited there to do skiing, but it was closed.
Oh, no. Well, hopefully, the season is just starting, so you can get up there now.
Yeah, I have been there in December, but I don't know why it was closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Usually there's a lot of snow at that time of year.
Yeah,
so
it was so snow, but I don't know why.
All right. Well, we'll try to get you back up there this year. Now, you're from Punjab area of
Yeah,
India?
I'm from Punjab.
Punjab. And are there mountains? I mean, there are mountains in kind of the northwest corner of your province?
Mountains are in Himalayan side or Jammu, Kashmir.
Gotcha.
It's so different from mine. Punjab is like plain area.
Oh, really? So it's really flat?
Yeah.
So...
It's so different from Seattle.
It's a lot different. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so when you were in India as a high school student, did you go to a private school or did you go to a public school?
Yeah, it was a private school.
Private school.
Yeah, most of Indian people prefer private school rather than go to the public school.
Sure.
Because the education is a little bit different in public and private school.
Right.
So that's why.
So did you start thinking about maybe studying in the United States while you were still in high school, or not till afterwards and you're like, oh, maybe I should do that?
To be honest, my first preference was Canada, but I got refused from Canada because of my status. Yeah. It was like they banned me from Canada and I was not aware about that. I don't know why they banned me. I applied for a travel visa when I was like 15 or 16 years old.
Uh-huh.
And then they banned me, and I got that news when I was applying for studying in Canada. And then I forgot about, I don't want to go to Canada if they refused me or banned me.
That's so...
So then I was thinking about to go to America.
Uh-huh.
So I came here.
Well, good. Yeah. Well, I'm a little surprised to hear that because getting a visa for Canada usually isn't super difficult for Indian students.
It's a lot easier for Indian students to get visa in Canada, but I don't know why.
But
Maybe
your visa...
because of my ban for 5 years. But now I have Canada visa.
You do?
Yeah.
So have you traveled up to Vancouver?
Yeah, I traveled to Vancouver. I traveled to Toronto like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, well, that's cool. Well, actually, I'm glad you told me that because a lot of our students like to go to Canada because we're just, a couple hundred kilometers from the border.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to see another country while you're in the U.S.
Yeah.
So when you decided to go up to Vancouver, did you have to get a Canadian visa then in order to do it?
Yeah, I got Canadian visa.
And where did you go to get that?
I applied from India.
Oh, you did?
Through my agent, yeah.
Ah, okay. And then when you got here, so you were already a student at Seattle Colleges when you went?
No, I didn't went to India. I just applied online.
No, I mean, you went to Canada while you were a student already at Seattle Colleges. So maybe you can tell the listeners, or maybe, we all have international students who have yet to travel to there.
Okay.
So maybe they don't understand the process. So what did you do when you went into the International Programs Office in order to be able to travel to Canada?
There's just one letter that you need to apply for a Canadian visa. That's just enrollment letter. That's it. It's not like too much difficult to apply for a Canada visa.
Right. Do they have to sign something on your I-20 or do they have to?
That's just for traveling to Canada.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so letting people know what it's like to move across the border and come back into the United States. Did you find that it was scary? Did you have any problems with the officers at the border?
To be honest, I was first a little bit nervous that what they can ask me.
Right.
Yeah, but it was not like too much difficult. They just asked me 2 or 3 questions, and they were like, "Okay, you can go."
Okay.
Yeah, they just asked where do you want to go, and how much days or months you want to stay here, and to whom you are going, and where do you study, what do you study. That's it.
And how long were you in Canada then? The first time when you went to Vancouver?
First time I went to Toronto, and it
was Toronto.
Yeah, it was just 1 week.
Oh, okay. And how was it?
It was so good.
Yeah?
I went there to meet my dad, who came there from India. Because he don't have US visa, so he came there to meet me.
Well, that's cool that you were able to meet in Toronto.
Yeah.
I've never been to Toronto. I'd really like to go. It's a big city, yeah?
Yeah, it is big city, and it's so beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah, you should go there.
I know. I'd like to go to Toronto. I've just never had the opportunity. Someday.
Yeah.
So your dad got to come. That's really great.
Yeah.
And does he have plans to try to get into the United States again? Has he tried to get
No, because it takes so much time to apply for here, and the interview date is
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, we have a lot of students from India, and have you met many of them?
Not many.
Really? That's interesting. I run into them fairly regularly around the halls, so I don't know. Everybody has different class schedules, so maybe you just don't meet them.
Maybe because I'm not too much into school activities. Maybe if I'll go there, maybe I'll meet them.
Right. And you're at which campus again?
I'm in Seattle Central.
You're at Central. So, all right. Yeah, this is probably the most Indian students that are here at Central, I think.
Yeah, right now, but I'm taking classes at North Seattle.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm taking classes over there, but my main admission was in Seattle Central.
So do you take classes at both campuses?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's really good for people to know. The nice thing, we have 3 campuses, South, North, and Central, and you can take classes at multiple campuses at once.
Yeah, it makes easier for us to apply for the classes because sometimes it's full in Seattle Central, so it's easy for us to apply at North Seattle because anyhow we have to take class.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you have to do any special paperwork or anything in order to be able to take classes there?
No, there's nothing like that. But I think to transfer your credits, you have to do something. I never did that, but I think in future I'll do that.
Sure. Well, definitely talk to your advisors. Let them know what you're doing. I'm sure your advisor knew what you were up to, so that's really great. Well, going back to the visa thing, a a lot of our students from South Asia, especially India, are interested in the visa process because some have difficulty with it. So you were in India, you decided to come to the United States, you applied to Texas, got your I-20, and then how long did it take from the time you got your I-20 until the time you got your interview?
It took me like 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
That is pretty long.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, the waiting time is like 2 years. You have to wait for the interview for 2 years. It's so long.
That is a long time. I know they're
Yeah.
trying to speed up the process. So check with there are quite a few consulates throughout India.
Yeah.
So check with your closest consulate or any of the consulates within India to see if you can.
Yeah.
Did you have the option, like, could you have traveled to like Nepal in order to do your interview to speed up the process, or did you even look into that?
I don't think so. That will help.
Oh,
in
wow.
that. Because officer will definitely ask that why you came here
Right.
and what's the point you come here.
Well,
Maybe that will reject your visa.
I don't know. We have West African students. Like I have some students from Ghana. They traveled to Cote d'Ivoire in order to do their visa interview.
Okay.
Because it was right next door. It was really close.
I traveled to Kolkata from Punjab.
Oh, you
and
did?
It take me like 4 hours flight.
That's
But-
quite a ways.
Yeah,
Why not New Delhi or Mumbai?
because I was not being able to find dates for the interview.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you had to go all the way to Calcutta. Wow.
Yeah, the nearest place for a meet was New Delhi, but I was not able
Right,
to
right.
find the interview date.
Uh-huh. If you'd had to gone to New Delhi, would you have driven or would you have had to fly? I know it's a big province you're in.
Yeah.
Or state. You guys call it a state, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
See. So I think if I want to go to Delhi, I can like fly from Punjab to Delhi, or I can take train too.
Oh, you could take the train. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Great trains in India.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you went to your interview, and how long was it? What kinds of questions did they ask you?
They asked me like a few questions that was not difficult for me to answer. They just asked me what kind of degree are you going to take, and have you ever been to America? Is there any relatives there? And why you been to UK before, and why you don't want to go there right now?
Right.
Yeah,
So you had traveled to the UK?
yeah.
Ah, as a tourist, or did you go?
Yeah, I've been there like 3 or 4 times
Oh.
as a traveler.
Right. Just for fun? Or do
Yeah,
you have
just
family
for
there?
spending time with my family who's living there.
Oh, gotcha. Wow. Well, you have family in the Seattle area?
I have my uncle here.
You have your uncle here.
Yeah.
And is he a naturalized citizen of the United States now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is.
What does he do?
He's a trucker.
Oh, that's right. He's a trucker.
Yeah.
Wow. And he likes the area? He's been here for how long?
Yeah, he's been here like 20 years.
Oh, long time.
Yeah, he liked this area.
Right.
He's in Auburn.
Wow. So is he your father's brother or your mother's brother?
He's my father's brother.
Ah. And had you met him before you came to the United States?
Yeah, I have met like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
In India.
Because I've talked to some students where they have family in Seattle, but they've never met them. So when they came here to be a student, it's the first time they had met, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. You also, okay, so you did your interview. How long was it?
It was like half an hour.
Oh, that's a pretty long interview.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Normally, I don't hear it taking that long. So that's
Yeah.
good.
There was some problem of my photograph on my biometrics. There was something problem like that. So that's why it take me like half an hour. Mostly it takes 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, right? It usually is pretty fast.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. Is there any advice about, like, what was wrong with your photograph? And is there advice that we can give other students so they don't run into that problem?
I also don't know about
Yeah,
that because they didn't clear my doubt. I asked them and they were like, you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
pay attention to the directions because I think there's dimensions it has to be, and it has to be a certain background. So be careful when you get your photos.
They take my photo again.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
okay. That's
did
good to
that.
know.
Yeah.
So you applied to Texas. Did you use an agent in order to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Tell us about your Some students apply directly and some students use agents. Tell us about your agent experience.
So mostly in Punjab area, mostly people apply for Canada visa, not for the American visa. And I was the one from my area who applied for American visa and got it. And people were shocked, like, is it true that people are getting study visa for America? And I was like, yeah. It's true.
Well, so did your agent only help you with the visa part, or did they also help you with applying to the university?
Yeah, they helped me in all the process,
Oh,
from
that's great.
applying to university, from preparing for the interview and all the paperwork. He did
Right.
everything, and
Wow.
he was so good in that.
He was.
Yeah.
So like some students question whether they should use an agent or not, but you had a really good experience.
Yeah, I had really, really good experience with him.
And do they charge you for the service, or is it free?
No, it was not free, but he didn't charge me like too much. It
Oh,
was
that's good.
like not that much.
All right. Well, I know that there are many Education USA offices throughout India. Did you ever visit one of the Education USA offices?
No, I never been there.
Gotcha. Well, if you are thinking about coming to school in the United States, keep Education USA in the back of your mind. It's a free governmental organization. It's not affiliated with Seattle colleges at all, but it's a great place to go and talk to someone to learn how to plan, to get ready for it. So if you're coming overseas, but if you have an agent, they'll definitely usually help you prepare.
Yeah, they help a lot in just preparing interview and to got visa, everything.
Right. So when you flew here by yourself?
Yeah. I
How was
did.
that?
And it was my first time that I was flying alone.
When you went to the UK, you were always with family.
Yeah, I always with my brother and my mother.
So this is your first, that's a big international flight.
Yeah.
Did you go to the west? Like, did you go through London to get to the United States, or did you go east, like go through Singapore? Which way did you go?
My stay was in Doha, Qatar.
Oh, okay. So you went west.
Yeah.
Okay. How long was that flight? It must have been a long flight.
Yeah, it was like from New Delhi to Doha, Qatar, it was 4.5.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, 4.5 hours flight, and after that it was long 17 hours flight.
Oh, 17 hours.
Yeah.
That's brutal. That is a long flight.
Yeah.
I'm flying to Pakistan in January, so that trip is coming up, and I have almost the exact same route. I think I fly Turkish Airlines to Doha, and then I fly to Karachi, and it's a really long flight. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So when you arrived here, well, you would have arrived to Texas, and then when you transferred, how did you get from Texas to Seattle? Did you drive? Did you fly?
No, I got a flight.
You did fly.
Yeah.
And then when you arrived in Seattle, what did you do for housing? Did you already have an apartment waiting for you? Or did your uncle just pick you up and you started living with him? Or what did you decide to do for housing?
At first, I didn't even know that my uncle is here.
You didn't?
No, I was not aware about that. Then one of my friends helped me to live here for like a week. And then I tried to find an apartment. And one of my friends also came with me. So we both were living together. And then we were able to find one apartment in just 1 week.
Wow, that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And is that apartment near the campus? Is it near?
No, it was at the north side.
Oh, okay. So like near North Gate?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was at the Roosevelt Street.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So near the high school?
Yeah.
Right on. That's a nice part of town. I like that area.
Yeah, I also like that area. But it's easy for me to live here. Right now, I'm living in downtown.
Oh, now you live downtown.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But before, did you use public transportation to get to and from your apartment in Roosevelt? And how was that? A lot of people ask about how will I get around Seattle once I'm there.
I think Seattle's public transport is very, very good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You have an option to travel through train or through buses, and Uber, definitely.
That's true. Yeah, Uber is definitely on the more expensive side, so I don't recommend that for long term.
If you don't want to spend too much money,
Right.
then try to use public transport.
Yeah, like the buses, I have found the buses to be really pretty reliable, sometimes not so reliable, but generally really reliable, and the subway's always great. Wow, that's really cool. Oh, do you hear that? That means it's trivia time. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
All right, this is the part of the program where we ask 5 questions relating to our school. And if you get them all right, you're on the Wall of Fame. And if not, sad. No, it's okay. Let's see how it goes. All right, question number 1. Since you go to Seattle Central, we have an animal associated with our campus. What is the mascot here at Seattle Central?
Tiger?
Yes, tiger. Question number 2. What country can you find tigers in?
In India too.
India! That was super easy for you.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you guys have tigers in Punjab?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No. It's on other states.
Oh, I figured.
It's not in India.
I just thought they were
Not
everywhere.
in Punjab, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I've only been to Delhi, and then I went out to see the Taj Mahal. It was Agra.
Okay.
And then I took a trip 40 kilometers west. So I know I was in your state, but probably not close to where you live.
You should visit Golden Temple.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's all made of gold.
Wow. It was awesome. Everything I saw, if you have never been to India, highly recommend. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. What do you miss most about India?
My food. That's the most important thing.
But we have a lot of Indian restaurants in Seattle area. Have you tried them? And
Yeah, I tried them, but the taste is not like too similar to what I got in Punjab.
Bad. Do you cook?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so
I'm so good in cooking.
There you go. Very nice. All right, question number 3. What is the name of the body of water just to the west of Seattle? It's a big body of water.
Ocean?
Well, so there's the ocean, there's the Pacific Ocean, and then there's water right next to Seattle. It starts with a P.
Pond?
It's the Puget Sound.
Oh, okay.
The Puget Sound. All right, great. What are we on? Question number 4, I think. Question number 4. Seattle is known for its professional sports. There are many professional sports teams in Seattle. Can you name one of those professional sports teams?
I know the team name, but I forgot the sports. It's Seahawks.
The Seahawks, exactly. Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks. Have you gone to see a
No,
game?
I've never been there.
Well, you should check it out before you leave. Maybe. It's a good cultural experience for sure. Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks. There's also the Mariners. They're American baseball. Mm-hmm. We have the Sounders. They're the soccer team, football team here. So yeah, lots of things to check out. All right, great. Last question. What was the last movie that you saw?
Right now I'm watching Netflix series.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm watching Money Heist.
Oh, I don't know this one. What's it about?
It's about robbery.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go out to the theaters much, or do you pretty much just stay home and watch?
No, I stay at home.
Stay at home and watch, right?
Yeah, I watch alone.
Oh, so not with your family?
No.
No. All right, fair enough. Well, you should get out there. It's pretty cool. There's some really nice theaters.
Yeah. I have been to some of the theaters to watch Punjabi movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's in a federal way.
Oh, so if you're from India and you're missing home, they do show Indian films here?
Yeah, in federal way.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Actually, I live near Northgate, where you were before, and I've seen, I just assume they're Indian films. I'm not really sure where they're from exactly, but the titles suggest that they're probably from South Asia somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know if they're...
I don't have any idea about that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've seen some, but that's good to know.
Yeah.
So if you miss home and you just want to hear the language, you can go check out the movies. Good to know. Well, really cool. Yeah, we have a really big Indian community, don't you think, in Seattle?
Yeah.
Like everywhere I go, I run into people from India.
There is more Indian community at Linwood, in Renton. Yeah.
So if you get sad and want to speak your language, it's no problem finding people.
There is no problem at all.
Well, that's good. Well, I always like to end the show with final words of advice. You were in India thinking about coming overseas to go to school. There's probably a lot of kids over there that are thinking about it. What kind of advice would you give them?
I advise them to definitely come here because it's a different experience from India, and you should definitely go for that and don't think about it like too much.
Just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. So what is they'll say, oh, well, how is it different? Like, what do you think is the big difference as far as the education goes?
Firstly, the education is too different from India. I think in Indian education is more like on difficult side, but American education is easy, but it's like a little bit complicated to understand the process and all. I was not aware about prerequisites.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what's that?
Right.
And it took me like 4 months to understand what's prerequisites.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No one explained it to you?
No, people tried to explain it to me, but I was like, I didn't understand it.
It's just a different concept. That's true. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. All right. Well, the last thing I like to do is give you the opportunity to say something in your own language. People have maybe never heard your language, so I wanted to give them the opportunity. But the truth of the matter is, she speaks more than one language. So
yeah, I speak Hindi, Punjabi. I'm aware about Gujarati too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, but you generally are speaking in Punjabi.
Yeah, because I'm Punjabi. I'm from Punjab, so I speak Punjabi.
There we go. So maybe you could say something to, either the kids back home or to family or whatever you want to do.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕਰੋ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਟਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਬ੍ਰਾਈਟ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਟਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ Thank you so much.
So cool. That sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Wow. All right. Well, that's great. Thanks for all your time. Thanks for coming down and meeting you. That's really great.
Thanks for doing podcasts.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's helpful to everybody out there.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are thinking about coming, but this gives them a really easy way to get some information and stuff. And hearing about your experience, because if I talk to them about it, they're like, oh, of course, he's supposed to tell us Seattle's so great. But you're a student here, so you can tell them the real deal.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you again soon.
See you.
Bye-bye. Conversations With is painstakingly crafted for you by the Seattle College's International Programs Department and supported by the lovely folks here on our campus. This show is produced and edited by me, Evan Franulovich. We welcome your emails and questions about coming to Seattle Colleges. Please reach out to us via our website or just give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts as this helps others discover the show. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube at Seattle Colleges INTL. That's Seattle Colleges INTL. And be sure to check out all of the shows here on Conversations With. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.